And I will always love Jingle Bell. I'm pretty sure that's how that song goes. Hi, everyone. Tonight for
I
narrative.
I feel like my ears are bleeding.
You're fine. Where is your That's not very Christmassy
It
spirit of you.
is
Okay.
very Christmassy spirit.
You need to be
So,
in the Christmas. It's Christmas time.
did we ever see Bad Santa, the movie?
Oh my god. I don't think I have. I need to watch it.
Well, that's me in a nutshell. Anywho,
Big oof.
we are officially 2.5 weeks away from Chrysler.
Yeah, Christmas.
So, don't forget, Santa Claus is going to make his rounds in like 2.5 weeks. If you're being a little bitch, he will skip you.
Mm-hmm. So be a good little boy and girl. And make sure you
Ooh,
listen to Santa.
I don't feel like you should say it that way. I feel like you should rephrase.
I ain't rephrasing nothing. When you hear
We're going to
those
catch a
sleigh,
claim.
we're gonna catch a claim, yep. Because when you hear those sleigh bells, when you hear those sleigh bells coming, you better know you're rocking. All I'm saying.
Well,
Anyways, Daddy Santa aside, I'm Aqua. Again, this is not the narrative,
I am Elvish.
and this is violence.
And we have another daddy to talk about today.
Oh my good lord, I love this freaking book. Nothing I like more than things that break the fourth wall, not to mention the
Oh my god.
audiobook. Mwah, chef kiss.
So I actually, well, I guess super quick. We're talking about How My Neighbor Stole Christmas by Megan Quinn. This book actually just released earlier this month. So this is a brand new book. Um, I have the physical book in front of me, but everyone and their mothers told me to listen to the audiobook. So I actually joined Aqua in the audiobook journey this time.
Woo,
Did
audiobook brigade.
not did not disappoint. Oh my god, had me actually
I
rolling on the
told
floor
you.
laughing.
I told you. It wasn't not worth it.
It
Was it
oh
not
my
worth
god.
it? It was so good. When they first started, like in the audiobook, I'm pretty sure in the book is the same way, but hearing it feels so nice. And the fact that it had like a full cast, like at the end it said it had like a full cast pretty much.
Yeah.
And it was so good. Like I didn't want it to end. I almost
Honestly.
I like did not want to finish it because I was like, oh my god, I want so much more. And the jokes with the narrator, oh,
Oh
so
my
funny,
god.
the best.
Well, I guess super just it's a super quick rundown. We are in Kringletown. They are called Kringles. Literally, if you have ever seen How the Grinch Stole Christmas, the Jim Carrey version, I mean, it could be any version, but specifically the Jim Carrey version, this is what this is about, but we see it from Whoville's perspective. Um, we have basically decorations, candy cane making, fucking anything and everything under the sun, and they try and see who has the most holiday spirit, and you get crowned the biggest Kringle, I guess, at the very end of the
Yeah.
holiday
The Chris
season.
Kringle, the Chris
Yeah.
Kringle award, basically. Yeah. So basically, the Kringle Town is literally, as you would think, it is Santa Claus Town. In an actual nutshell, it is 24/7 cremes
Oh yeah,
and
all year
Santa
round.
and hot chocolate. Oh yeah, it doesn't matter if it's summer. If it's summer, it's gonna be a Santa Claus with a Hawaiian shirt. And even in the book, it said Santa Claus in a Hawaiian shirt. Well,
Oh my
Kringle,
god,
but you know what I mean.
yes, yeah. It was the guy that was technically Santa Claus. He wears a Hawaiian shirt all summer, because it's
Who's
the off season.
yes, because he's off season. And the funny part is, his name is actually Kringle.
Oh my god.
This is great.
But fuck. So this book is very unique in my personal opinion. There is actually a narrator in the book. If you think of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas, the story, it's kind of like a narrator from that. And he narrates all throughout the book, but our two main characters, um, one of them, the male main character, is Cole Black. He and the narrator literally have it out for one another, and the
It's so
narrator does
good.
whatever he can to fuck Cole over. And there's one part in particular I want to discuss, but I can do that
I
in a
can't
minute.
wait. I can't wait.
Oh my Megan, Miss Ma'am, I could kiss you right now.
This is so good.
Essentially.
Oh yes. Give me some of that Kringle too.
I actually liked the fact, I don't know if this was intentional. So ideally the aunt, I will reveal her name in a moment. The aunt had a fake accent basically where she fell down, quote unquote hurt her hip. She needed her grandchildren, not grandchildren, fucking what, like the nieces to come over, help her and all that. And I don't know if it was intentional, but her name is Aunt Cindy. And if you think about Cindy Lou from Whoville, so it just like fit perfectly.
I thought the exact same thing.
But I don't know. I don't know if that was intentional. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't, but it just something, how do I put it? Like, I'm so excited about this book. Like, something about it just screamed, oh, what's the word? Like, I want to
cheer,
yeah,
Christmas spirit. Basically,
yeah.
like, okay, this book has like a lot of things put together in terms of themes. One, obviously, Christmas spirit, because it's literally a competition on who's the best Santa, who is the best of Christmas spirit.
Right.
It's literally like pretty much the whole thing about it.
And it is definitely an enemy to lovers too, for sure.
It is, and oh my god, do I love me a good enemies to lover.
Oh my god, and it was the grumpy sunshine as well, so that was another trope. She's very sunshiny when he's very grumpy, so it definitely went hand in hand with one another.
Yes, it was a good contrast, you know? The way how she was, it kind of fits, but both have their own issues at the same time. And once they, like, pretty much got closer together, things just really just worked itself out. You know, until people meddle in, but that's more towards the end and the whole details and things like that.
Right. And, you know, this book... Okay, one thing I'm going to say, I'm going to just start off, I guess. This book does have some spicy aspects about it. I will, however, say, I'm going to misspeak, but this book doesn't actually get spicy until maybe like 20 chapters in. There's 32 chapters, I believe.
Pretty
so
much, yeah.
That just goes to show, like, in my personal opinion, I feel like if a book is able to withstand its own, like, intrigue factor without having to throw raunchy spice out, that's a good book in my opinion. And then once it did get to the spicy scenes, they were actually really good. There is an infamous, like, candy cane scene that everyone was talking about.
Pretty spicy, not gonna lie.
It was very spicy. The ending of the candy cane scene actually made me feel kind of sick. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, I mean, you know, there are certain things for certain people, and, you know, some things play to certain people's kinks. But I can understand why.
Well, I could understand why. We can't discuss it technically on the tubes, but I just think it was like the scoop and lick part. That part was kind of weird to me because...
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Because yeah. I'm not trying to get in any, like, kink or, like, pervertedness or anything, but I just feel like once that topic cools down, if you know what I mean, I feel like that's now, like, icky. Does that make sense? Like, that's you know?
Yeah. Once the quote unquote adrenaline is gone, you know, it should stay there.
I don't like cold gravy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh my. You know, for those who know, no. For those who don't know, it's perfectly fine, boo boo. You're just, it's okay.
I have a feeling those who just want to hear a review about it and have not read the book yet are literally so fucking confused. However, okay, so jumping
Look.
again.
You can figure it out. Don't worry.
No, like if you'll get there. If you actually, now I want to just talk about the candy cane really quickly, but let me say what I was gonna say first, just so my ADD doesn't like fly off the rails.
Go ahead.
It doesn't happen very often, but on Audible, this book specifically has, I believe, a 5-star rating. If not, like I think at the time it was like a 4.9. So this book specifically on Audible is like almost as high rated as you possibly can. So please listen to it on Audible. I loved it. Oh my god. Okay, sorry. Now I'm going off the rails. We were talking about how Aunt Cindy's name is pretty common, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Are we also going to talk about that Cole? Because we understand that Cole is basically the Grinch in this book.
The Grinch, or even possibly Scrooge, if you think about it.
Maybe, yeah. And then in this book, his best friend, aka companion, aka partner, is named Max.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the movie, just like the book.
Yep. It is very much just basically how the Grinch stole Christmas. Even the title, How My Neighbor Stole Christmas.
Right. It's literally like, I know we're not really giving you much right now because the thing is, Aqua and I don't get this heavily excited about a book. So now that we're like this excited, I don't know where to begin. Like we're kind of just jumping all over.
I don't know either.
Like we have no structure.
Yeah, we don't. We kind of just go off the rails and just kind of figure it out as we go. Like, just blindly, just driving the synopsis car. And we have totally not even given the synopsis yet. But we're working on it. We'll get there. It's a ride. It'll be fun.
No, honestly. So there is one spot that I wanted to talk about. Okay, as mentioned, the narrator and Cole absolutely fucking have it out for one another. And I don't think I can necessarily describe the scene enough, so I kind of want to read it to you. But ideally, okay, hold on. Would it be better if I read it?
Elvish read. We're getting an Elvish read segment in the cast.
Would that be okay? Are y'all okay with that? I think we're okay with that.
Me as the audience in the back seat. Yeah, that's totally cool.
And then I also like how this book has photos. Like the actual book itself has photos.
Oh yeah, you told me that. I think I remember you showed me a picture of it. I didn't expect that at all, but I don't have the physical book because I just got the audio. Because like I said, or like I kept mentioning to you, like over and over again, I kept blasting your DMs about getting the audio version. And, oh my god.
Which that's the funniest thing. I actually got the audiobook after I got the book.
I know.
Okay.
But I didn't know it came with pictures, and I like the pictures too.
Well, okay, so there are actually 3 versions of the book. I'll try and put a picture here for everyone. The original book, I believe, is green, I think. The Barnes & Noble edition is blue, and then the Walmart edition is bright pink. I personally went to Walmart, and I got the bright pink one. I personally think the pink with the green and the reds, I think this book is beautiful, and when I actually get an actual, like, stand-up bookshelf, this will be on display. Like, it's that beautiful.
It's very pretty.
Okay, I do want to, I'm not good at like switching voices, so please excuse me, but this is my favorite scene with the narrator and Cole. So it starts off with the narrator. He says he can't keep his eyes off her. She's much too pretty and everyone can see it, even the judging committee. Will it make him lose? Will he forget how to sew? Will he only think about how well she grips his and can and then Cole comes in and says, "Come on, can you not right now? I'm trying to focus." Narrator says the man who keeps looking over at Story with hearts in his eyes. That's because this is a romance. Am I supposed to look at her like she's a piece of trash hanging out of a dumpster? Don't you get mouthy with me. I have control over your pants, and I have no problem splitting them so your dilly dong falls right out because, oops, I forgot to put underwear on you. Jesus Christ. Luckily for you, I'm allowing you to wear a thong today. So, when you bend over, everyone sees your choice of underwear. Fuck no. Too late. On with the story. And then it jumps to the actual story. Dude, are you wearing a thong? Max asks as I straighten from picking up a piece of construction paper I accidentally dropped on the floor.
Oh my god. My cheeks are hurting because I'm trying not to make any noise. I almost muted my microphone.
When I tell
Dude.
I heard that and I was like, no shit. Like, he's really not going to do this. And then you hear Max.
No, you did. Yep.
Are you wearing a thong?
Look,
So-
this book, the fact that it broke the fourth wall. You know, I was kind of hoping at some point, like other people would like talk with the narrator, but the fact that it was just the narrator and Cole,
I
just
loved
works
it.
out. It's like oil and water in a good way. It was so good. Oh my god, I'm crying.
And even
I think I love
Story,
this book.
I loved it. Even Story broke the fourth wall. I don't remember exactly what she said, but somewhere at the beginning, she ended up dressing up. She's not really like the Christmassy type. She ended up dressing up and she said something of like, and I even have fur on my boots. And then she like did the fourth wall thing. I think it was something like, and if you
Yes.
thought about boots with the fur, you are correct.
Yep, yeah, she did. Oh, she did. I completely forgot about that. I not the funny part is I thought of the song too. And that is what the reference was. And I was like, she thought the same thing. Oh my god, I'm crying.
Oh my god. I
This book
fucking
Had me laughing. I don't know how many times I was listening to the book. I had to wear a mask at work just that people don't see me grinning like I look like a creep.
luckily
my God.
at my job I work alone most times, so I'm there. I'm sure if my boss was looking at the camera, he's like, why is this idiot laughing right now? Like, I am so sorry.
my God.
This book,
I had
oh my
a-
god.
I had a couple of chortles at work next to my partner. My partner's looked at me and was like, what the hell? What are you doing? It's so good. I chortle. Guys, I chortle.
Like, this shit was just so fucking funny to me. Like, honestly, I liked Story as well. The character development with Story was pretty good. Honestly, Cole was one of my favorites. Like, he is such a Grinch at the beginning. He's just like, I mean, he has a right. I mean, the girl of his dreams basically leaves out of nowhere 10 years ago. He also loses his parents basically within the same time span. And he just
Mhm.
becomes
Same
like,
day.
yeah. Well, was it the same day or same week?
Oh, well, it was, well, technically, okay, so if I remember correctly, basically, with Story, she was practically, like, doing, like, the Christmas pageant thing. Did a whole little, like, a little routine, ended up going bad, like, really humiliating. What ended up destroying the town tree, putting an old woman into hypothermia,
Oh,
by
yeah.
accidentally making her tumble down into a freezing cold river. You know, the usual. And
Naturally.
then at that same day, that's when young Cole lost both of his parents on Christmas. I believe it was actually on Christmas, or right before it. It was right
I think
before
it was right
'cause-
before.
Yeah, right. Oh no, yeah, it was actually on Christmas Eve, right before Christmas. And so lost his parents, and then she basically had said, "I hate this place, screw this place, deuces," and left without
Mhm.
word.
Yeah.
And they were like best friends too.
And he
They're,
just
like,
felt
best
very
friends, not being best
betrayed.
friends.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he just felt very betrayed. So whenever she does finally come back, obviously he recognizes her almost immediately. They do end up doing like a fake dating type thing to kind of get under, oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna put a pin in that. They kind of do a fake dating thing, which kind of gets under her sister's skin, but then kind of gets the committee going.
Yeah.
And obviously the fake dating turns into actual dating, and they kind of go head to head. They're both not necessarily really enjoying each other's presence, but then a mistletoe scene happens, and of course, they're forced to kiss and sparks fly.
Yep, that's when it really starts.
I do want to say though, and this by all means did not mess up the book that much. I promise. Her sister is so fucking, like, I could have done without her sister in this book. Insufferable. Her sister is so fucking horrible. I don't like any scene with her sister. She basically snaps her fingers, expects Story to just jump on whatever she says. She literally delegates absolutely fucking everything. She has a bad attitude the entire time. And then not only does she like ruin Cole's chances of even possibly winning at the very end, but also ruins, I mean, they fix it obviously, but ruins the chance of her sister and Cole being together because he thinks that Story did it.
Yeah.
And it makes my heart hurt how
far she went. She
Yeah.
went way too far. I wouldn't say I want to go as far as not having her, because I think with some of that kind of helped with Story in terms of like character growth too, because they were having some family issue, given Story's past and what happened and her leaving so abruptly because she was so humiliated, and things kind of she went distant. She went basically became a shut-in, to where she talks to her plants. What are they, ficuses, I think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. And so I think it helped with Story's growth. Was she annoying a lot of times? Yeah. But I can see why they had somebody like her in terms of like story narrative, because it definitely kind of kept things like grounded on like basically the competition at this point.
Yeah.
Because once those two got so buddy, the competition was definitely an afterthought. And Atlas and Story's sister pretty much served as the grounding to keep that part of the story alive, in my opinion.
Right.
As part of like narrative and to keeping things together without it feeling forced. Instead, you have a character who is very obsessive, and another character who basically got, I would say attached, because of the fact that he was pulled into it, and now I've gotten so far, he was like, man, I got too deep into this. I wore freaking lederhosens and panted like a dog for you. We're winning this shit. And the other one is just a control freak, so we're gonna do this because I am fixated and we're doing it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I liked it, but I see your point though, because it was kind of frustrating, and the fact that she went so far, like, I'm pretty sure that Story's sister knew about Cool's past, but I don't think that was actually explained to her sister, or I don't know if her sister was aware. So I'm not too sure how involved the sister was on the details, although I wouldn't be surprised if she wasn't aware. But
Well,
that
I
was pretty
don't
cool
think she
that-
was aware though, because even at the
Yeah.
end when Aunt Cindy
Oh.
pulled them together, they kind of had their bonding moment, basically saying like, yeah, outside of this, we don't actually see one another, we don't talk, we don't do anything, because
That's
even
right.
Story didn't know anything about her sister's
boyfriend guy,
boyfriend or anything. Yeah.
which I thought was funny. His name is just Guy, and then he just kept running with it. It turns out his name actually is Guy,
Yeah.
which I thought was funny. But no, you do have a point. She had no idea. But I still think that was pretty far. But then again, she was being the sister, protective sister, getting revenge on her behalf because this man used my sister. So revenge time is needed. So I did like that part. The idea of it, at least, if that makes sense. But it still kind of sucked because, oh my god, was that so horrible, especially given Cole's background, and his past and things like that, and how much, like, he lives in basically Christmas Town, and the Christmas is gone from him because bad shit happened during Christmas when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And so, but I see where you're coming from though. But I think she was very good for the story.
Yeah, and I mean,
her story and the story.
and that's what I was saying. Like, it didn't do anything to ruin the story, because even if you think about it, every good movie has that antagonist that just makes you want to bash your head, and her sister was that for me. But
Yeah.
it did good for the story, it did good for the plot, and I can see definitely why she was needed. I just found her insufferable.
Yeah. No, I can see what you're coming from. Honestly, I thought the other, when at some point when the sister was trying to calculate points, like towards the end, you know how she's very much calculating all the points and everything. And when she was gonna go look at contestants, because at first Story and Cindy's team, their team, they were up in front. They were first place like back to back. And then suddenly be getting like third place practically like all the time. Not first place. And Cole was starting to pretty much gain the lead. But in the background, freaking Johnny, I'll call him Johnny 2x4 because of a TV show. But Johnny started to creep up, getting there slowly but surely, improving. And at some point, I thought, like, there was something that's gonna happen, right? Like that big climax and things like that was coming up with the antagonist. I thought one of the contestants was gonna be like a hidden antagonist this entire time. I thought maybe like, cause Johnny was like getting up ahead, I thought maybe he was cheating.
Oh, I kind of did. Yeah, I kind of thought that too.
Yeah, and it even said that Story's sister went to go look at the other contestants' stuff, but it turns out she went to go spy on Story to see her and Cole pretty much get all little playful snow bunnies, on the tree behind a large tree. If you know what I mean.
Which I actually do like the way that they did the grading system in this book too, because typically it's so exhausting and it's so boring. But typically in like books or movies where there are contests or anything of that sort, the main character either always comes out in first place or always comes out in last place, and it's so boring. Like it's so like
it's overplayed.
It is, and it's just repetitive, and I don't know, I liked the way that they fluctuated where Story was, like first place, third place, second place. Like you never knew exactly, like whenever they came down to judging, I was actually on the edge of my seat. I was on the edge of my seat, like wondering what place Story ended up getting, and it was different every single time, and I actually really liked that.
It was. And the fact that a background character still had personality and not just skipped over, they had details about them.
Yes.
And it showed up on how the judging was. And even though I think there was one in particular, the veterinarian always never followed the protocol. It always did her own thing. I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key rooting for her to doing her own things. Like, you do you, queen. Yes, gets last place practically every time. But the thing is, like, the competition is about doing the traditions, not breaking traditions. That's what I realized halfway through, or well, more towards the end. Kind of like 3/4 into the way, I was like, wait a second. This whole contest is about how traditional you could be, nothing else like that, and creative with tradition. So I was like, you know what? Now I see why she's always placed, because she's trying to break the mold. So in a way, she kind of was in the wrong competition, in my opinion. But that's me getting critical of the other competitors.
No, I agree completely, because yeah, I agree with you. I mean, she really
different.
She did, but I think she did things very well. Even though she became, or she had got last place in every single competition, she did everything well. It just wasn't up to the town standards, and
not what the town wanted.
Correct. So I don't know, I'm very glad that she competes year after year, from what it sounds like. And
she does not back down. And
no,
I think it even said in the book too that she's not one to back down. She is willing to try and go out in a competition that's about being in the box and wrapping it nicely.
Which, now that we're speaking about the competitions too, I actually forgot something that I was going to say earlier. It's really funny because, what was it? A fruitcake? Fruit pie? Fruitcake.
It was the fruitcake. Yeah, fruitcake.
Okay. So, one of the parts that absolutely just made me full on, like, ugly LOL out loud. Obviously, like, what LOL means out loud. What fucking idiot. Anyway, the one that made me ugly LOL, they ended up having a competition to make fruitcakes, and Max or like Atlas, same person,
Yeah.
Max and Cole ended up putting pineapples in the fruitcake, and it didn't do so well with the committee. They said it was too much. It was a little bit too
Tropicy.
summery. Yeah, it was like
Yeah.
more tropical summer rather than like um
Jingle
winter,
bells, jingle
Christmas,
bells.
right.
Yeah.
So, we get
More
to
coconuts, less sleigh bells.
right. So, we end up getting to the candy canes. Max ends up saying, "Why don't we put pineapple in the candy cane?" And Cole is like, "Fuck no. Like we already put candy cane or we already put pineapple in something and it backfired. So no." So they didn't end up doing it. Now, the side character that Aqua was just talking about, he ended up putting pineapple in his candy cane and he fucking
Fucking
won.
won.
And then
I laughed. I was like, ha. I said ha so loud. I had my entire office like, you good? I'm like, yeah, I'm good. Just Christmas
even Max,
competition.
even Max was so irritated. He was so
Oh my
visibly
God.
upset.
Bro, I swear, this book was a TV show. This was a Hallmark TV show. And
It was.
not gonna lie, I would so buy it on DVD box set.
I was actually just thinking about this too. I would actually love this book as a movie. I would watch it.
Or like a mini short, each chapter
Yeah.
probably an episode. Yeah. And we have to have the narrator and Cole Black doing the thing together. They have to. It's
Oh my god, I would love if it was allowed. I mean, it wouldn't be like exactly the same. I would love to make a short film about it.
Oh my good lord, I would love
I
that
would
so much.
I would do it.
This book was so good. I could just keep going on and on.
Honestly,
Details were so good.
yes.
Honestly, I could actually picture like the streets, how things were set up. I can
Yes.
picture all the details and what they were doing and what it would actually look like if we were there. Because the author, I mean writer, did so well. It's just on the details were so good, but it wasn't overwhelming. It just fit. It flowed together. And
Absolutely.
not to mention some of the stuff even rhymed, especially with the narrator. I was the narrator.
Yeah, the
Even if it's a
narrator
little
rhymed all the
far-fetched.
time, right?
Yes. Some of it was far-fetched on some of them. Just saying the same word over and over and over again. I don't think that word I could say to give it a context.
Well, and then there was
But-
one time that he rhymed, and I think he rhymed something with cookie or something, and even Cole was like, "Yo, we didn't even have any cookies."
Oh, that's right. They just fighting each other for it. That's when they started the little beef. Like, the beef got a little more beefier. It was so good. God, I loved it. I think my favorite part was more or less on the main characters and more on everyone else, but I mean that in a good way. Because sometimes background characters don't always get a lot of love. And in this
Yes.
book, you get that little taste. It is so good. I loved it. This book was great.
Well, I think I would. I mean, it's very obvious what we rate it, but I would like to just give our ratings now. If we're doing a simplistic rating, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. I fucking love it. If we're going on a deeper level, I honestly say this is a 10 out of 10. I'm going to recommend this to everyone I know.
I am pretty much the same. I'm at 5 out of 5. Absolutely love this book. I love the details. It made me laugh. I love Christmas, and this book is definitely a Christmas story.
100%.
Hands down. And if I were to give my real rating, my bells are jingled for sure. A 10 out of 10. Hands down. My bells have been jingled thoroughly.
And it's like I mentioned too, once I get an actual legit bookshelf, this book, even on non-Christmas times, this will be on full display because I want someone, not that I ever have people over because I'm a recluse that just fucking hides in my shell. But
Every now and then I gotta go in there and pry you out of there because if I don't, you don't get sunlight.
What's that?
You need to photosynthesize every now and then, okay?
I have to.
But yes, you have to. But anyway,
Well, you're a fucking party pooper. Anyway, I am
You'll
going.
be fine.
Also, okay, I'm gonna just share my honest opinion. Now, I actually thought of this. I'm gonna share my honest opinion, and this is before we even read the book. I didn't even know what the book was about. We didn't read it. We've heard nothing about it. That's all. I did hear there was a spicy candy cane scene. That's all we knew about it. Anyway, this book, by the way, is 484 pages long. It is considered a romance. Typically, why the fuck is any romance 500 pages long? There is no book no romance that should be 500 pages long. However, I could have done with another 300 to 400 pages.
What?
It wasn't long enough. Like, it wasn't long enough. So if you do see this book and you're like, what the fuck? Why is it so long? Get over it, Nancy. Get over it. Pick it up. Read it. Thank you.
It is so good. This book was so worth it. Not gonna lie, even though I have the audio, and that is probably the version of the book I would recommend the most to people.
Oh, absolutely.
I would actually probably buy the book itself just so I can have it.
I would, and it's like I mentioned, normal I think is green, Barnes & Noble is blue, Walmart is pink. And like I said, I should have a picture pulled up whenever I talked about it, so you can see it. So you can go and get whatever book makes your heart happy. The pink one, and I don't like pink, but the pink one made my heart happy. Like, when I saw the pink one, I needed it. And there's nothing different on the inside. No additional chapters, no story change, nothing. It's just the color of the cover. So if you go out and buy this book, buy whichever one makes your heart happy.
You know, I kind of wonder if the different versions or different editions of the book have maybe different pictures.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I just thought about that just now because you mentioned different versions. Like you said, like there's a Barnes and Noble, there's the Wally World.
Your mic said none of that.
Oh my good lord.
There's a Wally World, and that's where it cut off.
So I was saying, like, there's a Barnes
and
Wally
Noble
World version, a Barnes and Nobles, and what was the other one you said that there was?
Ooh, the normal one, just every
it's
day.
the standard edition.
So,
Well, I guess we'll call it standard edition. So maybe
wow,
they have different pictures.
Well, I'm actually in a feud with Barnes & Noble right now. That could be a whole story time if y'all want. However, I will gladly go inside of a Barnes & Noble to take a look because I am interested.
I mean, if you want, I'll do it. I'll check it out, and then we can compare books.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, honestly, for once, I am at the standpoint where I feel like I no longer want to talk about this book, only because we gave you the good parts, we gave you some juicy information. I don't want to spoil anything else for you. And typically, I'm like, we do spoilers here, blah, blah. I don't want to spoil anything else for you. I want you, I need you to go and buy this book. I need you to either buy the audiobook or the actual book. We prefer the audiobook. Believe me, the audiobook does it justice. But you need to go out, buy this book. You need to read it, and you need to let us know what you think about it in the comments. I will not accept anything less, please. Thank you.
At the very least, get the book and the audio version. You'll be great.
Honestly, yeah, I get both. But me personally, that's where I'm going to stand on this book. And this is the very first book on our channel where I've done this. So I'm starting something new. This book was so perfect where I no longer want to talk about it because I want you to experience everything else for yourself. Please, please, please read this book. Honestly.
Yes, it is a very fun book, and honestly, this almost could work year round, but especially if you're like me, a Christmas fanatic or a Christmas fan, you will love this so much. It would not matter what time of the year it's so good. It's pretty much the essence of Christmas.
No, honestly.
It is the How the Grinch Stole Christmas, but and a romance.
So there are only, I guess the final thing I'll say, besides ACOTAR, there are only 2 books I've read multiple times. This is going to be one that I read again. Even outside of Christmas, I will be reading this book again. It was, wow, it was so fantastic. So please let us know. Megan, I don't know if authors will ever watch our videos. Megan, thank you for this masterpiece. If you decide you want to come out with a second one and make it maybe about like one of the side characters, I will not say no.
Same. Or maybe put in some new characters who happen to pop in Crinkle Town.
Yes.
Get someone else bells jingled. I'm just saying.
I mean, I am down for that too.
Oh my god, wait. I kind of need to read the book again or listen to the book again. Does Atlas have a wife? Oh my god. It features Atlas. It features Max. It makes him the main.
I would love that.
That would be fabulous. I
Well,
love this book. I
anyway.
can gush over this book. Not gonna lie, we'll read it again. Same thing with my roommates. My roommate's a vampire? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. This is so good. So good.
Honestly, it was fantastic. But
Christmas.
I actually want to reread it already.
I know, I do too. Oh my god. I think I'm kind of ruined for holiday books. I think this ruined me because it's like I don't know if any other book could be good. It could be better than this book. For now, at least. For now. Definitely
I
a good
know.
book. Give it a shot. You know, I might actually just get the physical copy too. I might get the Barnes & Noble one, especially if it's different. I might just get it just so we have different versions of it.
I mean, either way, it will technically be different because the color will be different. That blue
True.
does look really good, but I don't know. This
It
pink
does.
just screams out at me.
I like blue. I'm kind of partial to blue. Then it reminds me of the veterinarian because I think she did something blue on the wrapping.
Oh, I
which
think
weren't
so.
supposed to. It was like blue and gold. And I was like, I imagine it. And I was like, oh my god, hers look pretty. And I don't even know what it looks like besides the basic colors on it. At first, and I just thought of a pretty, blue box. And I was like, now I want one.
Ugh.
Is that weird? Is that weird that I kind
Oh
of
no,
like
not at all.
actually like fully imagine it like as a sitcom?
I mean,
Like,
it was just that good. It was
it
so
was.
easy to imagine absolutely everything. So I don't blame you for that. I did the
It
exact
was
same
so
thing.
good.
I really want this to be turned into a movie. Just for them to
Or at
ruin
least,
it.
Or at least a six. I know, right? Next thing you know, Liam Neeson is there. They're taken and there's gonna be shootings and gangs and all this.
Well, that's dramatic. But I
mean,
can
it's a
see it
Christmas
happen.
movie. Yeah, that's like Die Hard.
Wait,
It's a
why-
Christmas
what?
movie. Yeah, Die Hard's a Christmas movie. One of them is a Christmas movie.
But none of the Takens are. Why would Liam Neeson be there?
Because of Liam Neeson. Who doesn't like Liam Neeson?
Who would he be?
Who would he be indeed? Maybe the Scrooge.
Cole?
No, Cole is the Grinch. I think we've all agreed that Cole's the Grinch.
I said that earlier and you said
You
Scrooge.
did. You have a point. That's because you were right. I just didn't want to admit it, but fine. I'll admit it here. It's definitely closer to the Grinch than it is to Scrooge. That's why I want Liam Neeson cast as the Scrooge now. With a gun.
What?
But I digress. It's a Christmas movie. We'll just have Taken with not Taken, Die Hard. With Jason Statham.
I feel like we're getting 2 genres mixed up.
We are.
Besides Bad Santa, or like, what was the other one where I don't know, there's no Christmas movie that deserves to have a gun in it. I don't know, Home Alone had a gun in
Oh.
it, yeah?
Yeah. Technically, yeah.
Oh.
And that was a Christmas movie too. That's about home invasion, kids. For those who don't know.
Well, thank you for calling us old. I appreciate that.
I mean, it ain't no secret.
But anywho.
Well, I think that practically wraps things up. Honestly, I can just keep going on details. And the entire time that I've listened to this book, I've always had almost practically every time a warm drink that is resemblance to chocolate.
Oh my god, hot chocolate sounds amazing right now.
That's exactly what I'm thinking. I'm about to like look for some marshmallows and dump into my hot coffee right now.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
It does.
Huh, but okay. It's actually weird that we didn't fully talk about the book, but it's just like you have to experience it.
You do. Honestly, we can talk like. I mean,
Like
you
at
can
least
technically
3 more
give the full
hours.
details. Exactly. I can practically. We'll just read the damn book for you.
Pretty
Practically.
much.
And I'd be so happy for that. But we don't have that much screen time here for these.
I do
podcasts.
story, you do Cole.
That'll work. I'll try to see if I could do a narrator voice. Do it like this. Cole Black, you are now wearing a thong. And off to the main story we go. That's probably the best I can do.
His voice didn't even change.
It probably didn't. I don't think my bike can pick it up. And the funny part is I was doing the head movements and everything, straightening and all that. It was great.
That's funny.
Yeah. But honestly, you need to experience this book. This book, like, if you were to look at other people and even us, you know, for like telling you about the book, summarizing it, even if we were to summarize it in full details, is not the same unless you've at minimum read it, or better yet, heard it.
Oh, absolutely.
I will stand by the audiobook full and full. Honestly, I
Yeah.
can't get over it. It was so well done. They had an actual cast, and the casting was fantastic. Every person's voice to me, exactly who they were.
I actually agree. I was kind of weirded out by Max's voice at first, but it fit his character in the long run.
It made sense, right?
It really did.
It did, yeah. It's just it was just it was smooth. It was so smooth. I just love it. I can gossip about it all day. We're just about to wrap up, and here we are back at
square one.
Back at square one. Back at again with the white beds.
Ah, well.
We're definitely old.
Okay, well you didn't have to say it twice.
It's fine. It's fine. We've experienced Christmas more than everyone else, and that's perfectly okay.
If he goes missing for next episode, it's not my fault. I didn't do it.
Oh, hey, I think someone just rang my doorbell. Oh, man. And then, God. It's just you. It's just next episode. It's just you and violence.
Imagine after that it just cuts to black.
Show up next episode, it's just you, and then violence with my face as a mask and all that. It's great.
He'll be sitting in your chair.
Sitting in my chair, yeah. Drinking my hot chocolate. Pretty sure that's bad for cats, but I guess we'll find out.
I mean, it has chocolate in it, so I would assume.
Probably. I don't clean up that mess.
Are you trying to kill her?
No, I think that's only for dogs.
I don't know. I don't think cats can drink chocolate.
Probably not. Let me know down in the comments, guys. Are chocolate bad for cats? I could probably Google it, but I'm way too lazy. Now I'm just thinking about hot chocolate.
They're gonna tune in 2 episodes. Violet's not gonna be here anymore.
It's just ghost violence from now on.
Oh, that's horrible. Okay, this is turning into a mess.
This is a mess. Yeah. Like, I'm just full of the holiday spirit. I'm just so ready. I'm so ready. I can't wait.
Whatever. 2.5 weeks left until Christmas. Don't be a dick. You might get a present.
Yeah.
Oh, can I
remember,
even say
Santa
that on the
Claus-
tubes?
I'm sure it's fine.
Let's test it.
And then video was taken down by you
Right.
because of YouTube. So remember, Santa Claus is watching. He's always watching, more than the government. So be nice, kids.
Well, I can't respond to that how I want. It sounds like Santa's on a list.
He's gotta check it twice.
Okay, bye.
Bye.